So when you think of guava, you're probably picturing that sweet tropical fruit, right? I mean, it's delicious, it's full of vitamins, and for most of us, that's pretty much where the story ends. But today, we're going to peel back the layers on this familiar plant to uncover a secret that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
Yep, that's right. While the fruit gets all the love and attention, researchers are finding out that the real powerhouse of the guava plant might just be its leaves. These things aren't just something to rake up. They have a super long history in traditional medicine, and modern science is finally starting to catch up and figure out why.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll look at why scientists are even bothering to look past the fruit. Then we'll break down the leaf's incredible chemical arsenal, what's actually in there. After that, we'll dive into 3 specific health benefits that are backed by recent studies. And finally, we'll tie it all together and figure out what this all really means for us.
You know, for centuries, in all kinds of traditional medicine systems, guava leaves have been the go-to for treating everything from diarrhea to stomach bugs. It's that rich history that really got scientists thinking, hey, maybe there's something to this. They wanted to see if these old-school uses could actually be proven with modern research and move beyond the fruit we all know and love.
So what gives these leaves this medicinal reputation? Well, it all boils down to chemistry. See, plants don't just sit there looking pretty. They're constantly producing hundreds of chemical compounds to protect themselves from insects, fungus, disease, you name it. And it just so happens that a lot of those defensive chemicals can have some seriously powerful effects on our bodies too.
What's really wild is just how many different compounds we're talking about in guava leaves. It's not just one thing. It's like this complex bioactive cocktail. You've got flavonoids and phenolic compounds, which are famous for being antioxidants, plus tannins, alkaloids, and terpenoid, and each one brings its own unique set of potential benefits to the table. It's this powerful combination that makes the leaf so special.
And the official scientific term for all these goodies is phytochemicals. Think of them as the plant's natural defense system, and when we consume them, they can interact with our own biology in really helpful ways. That's pretty much the entire basis for using plants as medicine.
Okay, so we know the leaves are packed with these phytochemicals, but what do they actually do? Let's get to the good part. We're going to see how all this chemistry plays out in the real world by looking at 3 totally different areas where guava leaves are showing some incredible promise: cardiovascular health, oral hygiene, and digestive protection.
First up, heart health. Now, a huge risk factor for heart disease is something called hyperlipidemia. It's a fancy term for having high levels of cholesterol and other fats in your blood. While some research suggests that a couple of those phytochemicals in guava leaves, specifically rutin and camphorol, might actually help by targeting a key enzyme our bodies use to produce cholesterol. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, let's switch gears from the heart to the mouth. For our second benefit, we're talking oral hygiene. I mean, way before we had fancy mouthwash, people in different cultures would literally chew on guava leaves to help with toothaches and sore gums. So a recent study decided to see if a modern mouth freshener made from guava leaf extract could actually live up to that history.
And they did this very methodically. First, the researchers created this concentrated liquid extract from dried leaf powder. Then, they turned that extract into an herbal mouth freshener. And finally, they gave it to a group of volunteers to use for 2 weeks so they could measure the actual effects on their oral health.
And the results were, well, they were impressive. The plaque index, which is basically a score for how much plaque is on your teeth, dropped from an average of 2.1 all the way down to 1.2. Even better, the gingival index, which measures gum inflammation, was practically cut in half, going from 1.9 to 1.0. So the big takeaway here is this wasn't just freshening their breath, it was actively improving their oral health.
Now, for our final example, we're looking at something even more dramatic: the protective effects guava leaves can have on the stomach lining. Researchers basically induced stomach ulcers in rats to see if a specific extract from the leaves could help prevent some of that damage.
And the pictures really tell the whole story. Just look at this. On the left, you see the stomach from the control group. It's clearly really damaged. But on the right, that's the stomach from a rat that was treated with the guava leaf extract. I mean, the difference is just night and day. The lining is so much healthier, with way less damage. It's such a powerful visual.
And to put a number on what your eyes are seeing, the study found that the guava leaf extract led to a 68% inhibition of ulcers. Now, a standard drug they tested it against did a little better at 81%, but the fact that a simple plant extract could offer almost 70% protection is, honestly, it's remarkable.
So, after looking at cholesterol and oral health and stomach ulcers, what can we take away from all this? What's the big picture here?
Well, the key takeaway is that this humble guava leaf is a scientifically fascinating and potentially powerful natural resource. It is just loaded with this wide array of phytochemicals that show real, measurable effects in studies on our heart, our mouth, and our gut. What's so cool is that modern research is finally providing the scientific proof for what traditional medicine has been saying for centuries. It really positions the leaf as this promising source for natural, effective, and accessible health solutions.
And that kind of leads us to one last big question. We've just seen the incredible potential hiding in a leaf that most of us would just walk past or throw in the compost. It really makes you wonder, if a common leaf that we all know holds this much power, what other natural secrets are just sitting out there, waiting to be rediscovered and validated by science?